That's good.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and
It
get
is.
going just so we can be on time. We've got the recording going. So, welcome everyone. Hopefully, a few more people will jump in, but we are recording this so we can put it on the council YouTube channel and share it out with everybody. So, those who couldn't make it to this one or the last couple will have an opportunity to at least go back and review it. But again, welcome. We're calling this year the Fall Membership Frenzy. It's already started. We started seeing numbers increase in the council. We just started a new unit yesterday. And so things are getting really exciting. We're very, very excited about what's going to transpire over the next few months. And we know a lot of units are out recruiting, so thank you. So I'm going to ask Tyler. I know he's well prepared because I asked him about 5 minutes ago to give a safety minute, but I have a slide for him. So take it away, Tyler.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful afternoon. I just want to talk a little bit about something that's pertinent to the season, which is fire hazards, especially with fire season coming. We need to make sure that we're using authorized fire pits and locations. This is something that's extra important for us as scouts, as we need to plan ahead and prepare whenever we go and visit locations and go camping. We need to determine whether a burn permit is required. Check your region, talk to your local fire safety manager or land manager and see if it's appropriate. Check for burn bans by city, county, and state levels, as well as regions. Build a campfire only when it's necessary. We don't need to have campfires to have that community bonding space. Clear at least 5 feet from the fire pit in all directions, ideally 10 feet total in the diameter, 5 feet radius. Make sure we're safely using and storing fire when starting materials. We don't want fire to jump. It's important that we're ensuring that all burnable materials are kept at a safe distance. It's important that we have a fire watch. The fire must be attended at all times by an adult. And we have to make sure that the water and or shovel is ready to use so that we can always be in control of it and not allow the fire to control us. Make sure we use the cold out test, meaning that we should be able to run our fingers through the ashes after we put the fire out. And remember, always, as scouts, it's our duty to follow the outdoor code, the guide to safe scouting, and the leave no trace rules. Let us tread lightly and enjoy using fires safely in the scouting way.
Thank you, Tyler. So your council membership team, I want to introduce you. This is just not the staff. We have a lot of volunteers involved with council membership. So Rebecca Vader is the VP of council membership. We meet monthly and discuss where we're at with membership and what's coming up and what we can do to help the units with membership and recruitment. I'm the assistant scout executive and CEO, and your presenter tonight, along with Tricia Salazar, who's our district associate that is also helping with council level membership efforts. And then new on this list that wasn't last time is Sherry O'Gorman, and she's on here, waving at you. She is going to be our marketing and communications volunteer coordinator, and she's going to help us increase our visibility across the council and hopefully outside the council as well. In the Olympic District, Mark Daniel Brazel is the district membership chair, and Matthew McQuilton is the district chair. They usually attend the meetings along with Tyler Fine, the district executive. And in Rainier District, they don't currently have a membership chair, but I know Justin Lewis, the district chair, is working on it. And Rachel Weaver is your district executive. As I said earlier, this webinar is being recorded and will be available in a few days as soon as we can get it on YouTube, and we will share it out. So again, if you haven't already done so, please put your name and unit in the chat. We also have a multitude of resources that we're going to talk about tonight that are available from the council and national websites. Obviously, we can't cover everything that is available, so please let the membership team know what your needs are. We can kind of guess just from our experience what you might need, but if you have something we don't mention, we can probably get it for you. You just have to tell us what you need. And I do ask that, unless it's something urgent, please hold questions until the end because we have some pretty thorough slides, and we're probably going to cover what you may ask, or at least write them in the chat so we can address them. I believe Tricia is going to help me monitor that, so thank you, Tricia. And this is the quote at the bottom is something that is on our 2024 membership plan. that we submitted to national. We firmly believe as a membership team, families join units, not councils. They don't come to the council for their meetings. They don't come to the council office. Sometimes we get them that they're interested, but they really join units. Families want to join other families when they are interested in scouting. So we felt that was an appropriate statement to put on the 2024 membership plan. So why is recruiting necessary? Obviously, we want to grow and replenish our unit membership. If we all the kids that we never have the same kids year after year, and it's important that we have the recruitment and membership drives so that we can replenish and hopefully grow our unit membership. That's the only way our units are going to survive. We have some units that have been around for 100 years, and obviously they got great recruitment plans. And we have some brand new ones, like the one we just started yesterday, that we're going to help also do recruiting. But everybody should be a recruiter. It doesn't always have to happen at formal events. It could be just you're in picking up some bread at the grocery store and you're in uniform and somebody comes up and asks you. But we are all recruiters, and we want to get as many youth in the community as involved as possible. And it is exciting for Scout age boys and girls. I know somebody that used to say every youth wants to be in scouting. They just don't know it yet, which I've always liked that quote. I'm still trying to figure out the scroll on my mouse, so sorry if I keep going the wrong direction. So who do we recruit? This should not be news to anybody, but just to reiterate, we all scouting age boys and girls. We're a completely co-ed program for Cub Scouts. We want to try to increase focus on kindergarten because that will be the strength of the pack for 5 years if they stay all the way up to AOL, and also the first grade Tigers. Increase focus on those, but obviously we want to recruit the second, third, fourth, and fifth graders as well. For Scouts BSA, increase on the middle school aged youth. They're the ones that are probably still would be excited about scouting if they get an opportunity to join, and will be around for 5, 6, 7 years, if not longer, as adults. And then for venturing and sea scouting, focus on high school freshmen and sophomores. If you don't already know, venturing and sea scouting and exploring all go to 21. So those are great programs for high school freshmen and sophomores to get involved in. And I can tell you from personal experience, when I was growing up, I was in a law enforcement explorer post that I started when I was in 9th grade, and I was there for 5 years until I went in the military, and it was a blast. And remember, nearly everyone likes scouting. They just don't know it yet, which I've already said. So what do we want to do? In a couple slides from now, we'll talk about some resources we have. But so what do we want to do? If your unit does not have a new membership coordinator, recruit one. Get a parent or one of the committee members to be that person. That position is key to being very successful with membership, because that person is the person who will follow up with new families. They're the ones that when the families show up at the meeting and all the leaders are busy keeping the kids involved and engaged, this is the person that doesn't have responsibilities to run the meeting and can sit down with the parents and answer questions. Families need to feel like they're important and that they're getting that somebody's with them. I'm sorry, there was if you can, please mute unless you have a question. Thank you. Line up a venue and volunteers and make sure you have enough manpower at the event to coordinate sign-in information and registration tables. And Tricia is going to give us an example of that as we go through the slides. Then take advantage of back to school nights and other early fall opportunities to plan outdoor activities before it gets too cold and dark. I know when we go back to daylight savings here in Washington, I think it gets dark out at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then obviously, if you can, work with the schools to be at parents or back to school night with recruitment table or the recruitment table. You always want to have an activity for the boys and girls that is within view of the parents. I will tell you, the old way used to be some adult will say rally up all the new potential youth and take them off to a different room. In today's environment, parents get very nervous if they can't keep an eye on their own kid. So we do not recommend you shuffle off the kids into another room or take them outside. And we'll show you how to do that. But obviously have some activity, and you want the parents to be able to see that their kids are having fun while you're talking to them about scouting. It just helps them. It helps the kids get excited about it, and it's the parents see that they're actually doing something. Advertise in advance with flyers, lawn signs, social media, and peer-to-peer cards. And again, we'll talk about how you can get those items a little bit later. Always have everyone sign in as they arrive so you can capture everyone's contact information. A laptop is great because you can saves you the headache of trying to decipher handwriting. We found that out at the May Fair. We had several hundred people that filled out the consent form to use the BB gun range, and we could only read maybe 24 of them because it was just scribbling. We couldn't get the information we needed. Have a welcome packet ready. And again, we'll talk about that. That is something the council can help you with. We have some great packets that include welcome new family booklets and some resources in there for a new family that the unit can manipulate to fit their unit with their own personal information. So those are available. And the same with cost sheets, stickers, and other items. It's always good if you also have a unit events calendar for your unit, showing them what's coming up, at least for the next 3 months, so they know what to expect, and so they can start putting it on their own calendars. They want to see that there's activities already planned. Our target audience, we want to target the non-millennial mother, 27 to 35 years old, because statistics show us that that's the decision maker of the family, and they're the ones that have the kids that are scouting age. So that's kind of our target audience when we do social media and other items to attract people. So just keep that in mind. Statistics do show that the mom is the decision maker on what the kids, for the most part, on what their kids do in their after school activities or evening activities. Always be prepared with application forms or QR codes to be a scout, and we'll talk about that. And then be ready to take payment with paper applications. If they do the online through the QR code and be a scout, they can pay online without you having to handle any money, and that is the preferred method. But if you're going to do paper applications, make sure you have a way to take payment with some type of receipt that you can issue back to them, so that they have proof that they've paid. Consider having a project board with pictures or pack activities, QR codes, etc. If you need help with that, or if you even need us to provide you with a project board, just let us know, and we will get you one and can put a poster on it, and then you can adjust it to fit your unit as you see fit. And then follow the monthly fall membership frenzy suggestions task chart. Last week we sent out a fall frenzy a plan to all the unit key threes. If you did not get that and would like it, please let Tricia or I know, and we will get that to you. But in that, on the back pages, there is, or toward the back, there's a list of suggested tasks that units and the council should look at or follow for each month. There's only 3 in each box. The key 3, the 3 main things that we think should be focused on. Those are suggestions. You can always do what you feel is best for a unit, but that's a good place to start if you don't know where to start as far as where you should be at with recruitment. And then have a unit sign-up night using the BSA Playbook. We're going to show you an example of that. Oh, let's see. So I'm gonna unit open house night. There's this slide here, and there's a link here, but we can send that out to you. I want to go straight to the next slide, but I'm gonna let Tricia, you tell me when you want me to switch to the diagram slide, but I'm gonna turn this over to Tricia and let her talk a little bit about having a unit open house night.
So a youth open house night, it is a great time to get the community involved, let your schools and even homeschoolers, so put it out in the community, post offices, stores, things like that, say, hey, come and learn about scouting with our unit tonight. And you really want it to have a fun meeting, have some activities for them. So like Darren was talking about earlier, there is, have it where they're in the middle. The kids are having fun. They're doing a great activity. They're meeting friends. And then the parents are learning all about the unit and all about Cub Scouting or the Scouts BSA and so on and so forth. And so if Darren moves to the next slide really quick, you will see, oh, 1 second, he'll be there in a second. But you'll see how National has been training us to show what a joint night layout works. If you've been to some of our roundtables, you've also seen this layout with both Olympic and Rainier in the last couple of months. And the membership team is well versed in this. They're happy to train you guys on how to do it. But on this, you'll see that Station 1 is a welcome. That's where they sign in. You greet them, you let them know how the flow is going to work. Station 2, who are we? What do we do? What's the fun excitement that we get to have? You know, we have campouts, we have Pinewood Derbies, we do all this fun stuff. Talk about that. Station 3, get those applications. You can have QR codes ready to go for the Be a Scout. Make sure it goes to your direct link with your QR codes, or just Be a Scout in general. Tell them how to search it. Have paper, be ready to take the payments, all right there for not just your youth, but your adults as well. And then Station 4, that's where they can check out. But in Station 5, this is where you can also have a chance for the adults to learn more about the leadership and what they do and who is who, you know, like what is a Cubmaster and what is a den leader and what do you guys do? But it also gives them a chance to learn about if they want to do it as well. And from council, we do provide signs that you can use to put on your board, on your tables, as well as a layout that looks just like this that tells you there's what you need to do at each station so you guys can have a really successful joint night. We found that this has been really easy for our volunteers that have done this. We've done this a few times with some new units and units who are trying to grow, and it's been really successful and it's been really helpful. The link that I'll throw in there is the same link that was on this slideshow here. It comes from National and has some really great information about it as well.
Thank you, Tricia. If I may add, the days of where you get everybody in, you set them down in an auditorium in chairs, and then you talk to them for 15 minutes and do the paperwork, that's no longer the recommended practice. And like Tricia was saying, as parents come in, they should be greeted right there at the entrance, and they immediately go to Station 1. They don't go all together. Each parent or family goes to each table as they wish to flow. Some people may spend more time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes at one station because they have more questions, but allowing the parents to flow through this process on their own pace and talk to the people that are manning the station, and then come back around to Station 5 and be able to leave when they're done without having to wait for somebody to stand up and talk. They get immediately engaged, they go at their own pace, and they feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more welcomed when they have basically 5 stations where they're going to talk to people about specific parts of scouting. So that's why this is recommended. And again, just to reiterate what Tricia said, we will provide you the station signs and descriptions. We laminate them and provide them to units to keep or to borrow, either way. But we can help you with this type thing, and we can, when available, we can even send a professional or a staff member to come help you in your open house night. If you need some guidance or help, just not sure that you're comfortable with doing it, you just need to let us know. So after the event, obviously you want to follow up with both families who joined and families who didn't. Phone calls are always better than text or email. I'll give them that personal call. Again, that one-on-one contact with an actual voice and a person is always better than emails. Obviously, some people prefer to communicate by text. I know on one of our interest cards, we actually put, how do you prefer to be contacted or communicated with? So you can always consider that too. Make sure new boys and girls are integrating into dens and patrols as quickly as possible. Nothing will, there's no value in having a kid stand off to the side, not sure what they're doing and not feeling like they're involved. That will make them not want to come back. So you want to make sure they get engaged immediately. And then make sure that you have families that are interested, they sign up. This goes back to providing a calendar that night that you engage the new boys and girls by planning something a few weeks after the event. The sooner the better, so they can see that there's an actual activity coming up and that they go out and start having fun. And then obviously engage the parents as well by inviting them to your next committee meeting. They don't necessarily have to join the committee, but baby steps, they eventually probably will if you start inviting them just to come to see what it's about. And then let them get comfortable with the committee meetings, and then you can ask them to participate as needed. Some other great recruiting ideas, obviously, community cleanup projects. If you have your pack or troop flag or venturing flag, have that out there when you're doing cleanups, whether it's put in a stand or somebody's carrying it or however that is. But advertise that it is a pack or troop or crew that's doing the cleanup. Town fairs or carnivals or public facing events, we will support you on those, and we'll talk about that in a little bit in a future slide. A pack a day in the park with games and activities where anyone can join. Packs that do these kind of events, they go out, they have a picnic in the park, and they have a bunch of field games or games for kids to play. Other kids that are there will naturally want to be attracted or go toward those activities. Then you can have a discussion with the parent there. Yeah, what is this? Well, this is scouting. And you can have that conversation while their kids are playing with the scouts. An after-school event inviting students to attend. An activity like skills clinics, bicycle rodeos, rockets, and other themed activities. I know we just had a troop do a bicycle rodeo or help one of the police departments, and there was probably several hundred kids there that they were able to be in contact with, and they were allowed to pass out information about scouting. And I just added this one, but take advantage of youth events like Halloween. The council right now we're working on producing either stickers or some type of Halloween themed card that we can send out to units or families and ask you that maybe you pass them out with the trick-or-treat candy if you do trick-or-treating at your door, or you have some event, a trunk or treat or something. But we're working on printing a couple thousand of these and getting these out to units. And it's just a little promotional card just saying, join scouting. But we will have more information on that coming soon. And then use peer-to-peer cards to invite friends. And if you're not sure what that is, it's basically a postcard sized card. And again, we can help get those to you, where you give those to your scouts and ask them to invite a friend. So they get a personal invitation from somebody that they know. So what support is available? I kept referring to this through the other slides. The council has done a lot in the last year to develop as much resources as possible for the units to check out and use for any recruitment, or it doesn't always have to be recruitment. It could just be a pack activity on some of this. But these can be ordered through the council office and picked up at either the Tacoma Scout office or at the Camp Thunderbird. And most of the items can be customized for your unit at no cost. So it's an online form. You go fill it out. Jessica in our office will contact you and work with you of what you want specifically. All of our flyers have a space at the bottom to be customized. We can give you the blank flyers, or Jessica can help you and load your QR code and your information on the flyers. And we will print those flyers for you for your event and get those to you, or you can buy and pick them up. We have lawn signs, posters, the 24 by 36 posters, the sidewalk sign here that can be customized. I always recommend that if you're going to have something at a back to school night or somewhere in a facility, you check this out. And like it says here, Cub Scouts here tonight at 7 p.m. And you ask the school if it's okay if you put it out on the sidewalk where parents pick up their kids in the morning. You leave it there all day, and you just make sure you take it back in at night so it doesn't disappear. But a great way to advertise without having to stand there and pass out flyers. But just getting it out all day at that location, we have not had a problem with any of those signs disappearing so far. So good thing, but that's an option. Again, this is just an example of one flyer. And then the sidewalk sign, Peach Jar support. For those of you that are in school districts that use Peach Jar, we have a cost sharing thing where we can help you with that. I believe we pay up to a certain point, and then after that, it's a 50-50, right, Tricia, or is it just 50-50?
Just 50-50 for Peach Jar.
Okay, yeah. But we're able to get some credits and stuff, so we can get Peach Jar done and help you with that if that's what you want to do. And then geofencing support. Tricia, can you just jump in really quick and give a 30-second spiel on geofencing, what you can do for them?
Geofencing, yes, super quickly. So we will make an event for your event on Facebook, and then we will use geofencing and their ads manager within Meta to target our non-legacy millennial mothers that we talked about earlier within your area on Facebook and Instagram and Messenger, the whole entire Meta suite. And we do up to about 3 to 4 days ahead of time, depending on the days, and we do that at no charge for you guys.
Right, and Tricia is our guru for that, and Sherry's going to be helping her with that. And then if you don't know, we have a growing leaders fund. So we truly believe that no family should be kept out of scouting because they can't afford it. Obviously, the funds are it's finite resources, so we definitely want to use it for families that absolutely need it. But if you have a family that's interested in joining but can't seem to, if you feel they can't afford it, please let them know. We do have a growing leaders fund for new youth that we can assist them with that. And then obviously after that, give them options to raise, pay their way by selling popcorn or whatever other fundraisers your unit does. But we can help get the families going with the growing leaders fund if they can't afford it. That is also an online request form on the council website. You just click down, go to resources, and you'll see the growing leader funds form. Some other great recruiting ideas. Sorry, yeah, I agree. Some other great recruiting ideas. Obviously, we mentioned community cleanup projects, but town fairs or carnivals. I thought we already said this. Looks like I have a duplicate slide. I apologize for that. No, I'm going the wrong direction again. That's why. Other items that we have recruitment kits that can be checked out. And by the way, all of this is at no cost to the unit, with the exception of Peach Jar. All of this is at no cost to the unit. They can be reserved through the council office and picked up at Tacoma or Camp Thunderbird. There is an online form to reserve it. The rolling tote includes, and if you don't want all of it, that's fine, but we're going to give you the whole kit. But it has a 6 to 8 foot table cover, as you see here in the picture. It's got every handbook, and that these are the newest handbooks for Cub Scouts that are in every kit. Brochure holders, as you can see on the table. We have giveaways, free giveaways that we will issue to you that do not have to come back to us, that you can use to give out to potential members that are interested in joining. That includes a knot board, mini frisbees, pencils, rulers. We can give you all the applications you need. We also have a collection of old event patches that we can give to you to just give away. Kids seem to like patches. You can also check out a pop-up tent from us. So you don't really have to put anything together. You can come and check out this kit. We just built 2 more, so we now have a total of 9 in the council. We keep 3 of them down at Camp Thunderbird and 6 up at the Tacoma office, but we can shift those around as needed depending on the request. So plenty of opportunity. And again, like I said, these are available for your use. You just have to sign them out and then bring them back so we can make sure other units have an opportunity to use them. I will tell you, September, I think we've had just about every kit checked out for the last 2 weeks over the weekends. So they are definitely getting used. So if you got an event coming up, please make sure you get your name on the list or fill out the form so we can get one reserved for you. The other thing we have, again, available at no cost, lots of games and activity supplies, which can also be reserved to the council office. Whether you're doing a recruitment event or not, if you're just having a pack activity, if they're available, you're more than welcome to check them out. These are mostly outdoor games or games that can be used. I know we used them over in Aberdeen when we had an open house night, and these were some of the things that we put in the center of the room that we discussed earlier, like the Yahtzee dice, the checkerboard, the X's and O game. We had some of those setting up, but we've got the tower blocks, Jenga, the tic-tac-toe toss, the large Yahtzee dice, the chessboard, the ladder ball toss. Recently, we've added backyard bass. That's definitely an outdoor one with the fishing poles. And if you don't know what that is, if you just Google backyard bass and watch a video, really fun. We've used it at day camp and a couple other events, and it attracted the kids. They loved using it. And then recently we added some stomp rockets in each kit. So these are available for checkout as well. All of this is great information for the units, but you got to get the kids there. We encourage units to use beascout.org. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to ask Tricia to explain it to you and then show you how to update your unit pin. So Tricia, if you're ready, I'm going to turn this slide over to you.
I am definitely ready. So with Be a Scout, it is a resource that National provides for you guys to go ahead and promote your units. And it's really easy to get to your key 3 and your delegate. All they have to do is log into their my.scouting. They hit the menu right over here. They will find the unit that they are trying to update. I'm going to go into our Girl Troop here. Go to Organization Manager, and right here is a unit pin. And this example over here, the unit pin preview, this is what it will look like on the Be a Scout website. So when someone goes to Be a Scout, type in a zip code, they look for a troop, pack, whatever it is they're looking for, this is what they'll see. You have the ability to go ahead and appear or not appear. If you want to allow people to apply online or not, update your contact person here. So the person who's actually going to answer the phone calls and answer the emails and be responsive, that's who you want to have here. You can add a website. Some of our units will link to their Facebook pages too, so it doesn't have to be an actual website. And add additional information. This is the area that you want to promote what you guys do, what makes you guys exciting. Where do you guys meet? What time? And you have all of that here. And update your address. It does default to your chartering org address. If you don't meet at your chartering org, you do need to make sure you update that. And if there's information on here you don't want, your contact person absolutely doesn't want to get phone calls or texts, they could turn that off on this little list here. But you'll see that it'll have what your unit is, all your information, if you're a girl troop, boy troop, family pack, whatever, and then your information here. There'll be a request more information and an apply now button. And all of that goes right back into your guys' application manager and invitation manager here. Plus they can also call you. You go in here, you update it. It takes just a couple of minutes. Sometimes it updates right away. Sometimes it just takes an overnight sync, but it's there. And we recommend it all the time. We have QR codes that go to it. It's a great resource for you.
You still, I was going to ask you, can you show them where they can get a QR code specifically for their unit? If you still have it up.
Of course. See? All right. And see, I always forget.
They reminded you last time.
Yes. Right there. So you go into Invitation Manager and you have your QR code right here. You just download it and it's all there. Just make sure you change the name if you have a couple of different units, or else you won't know what you're looking for. But it's right there, and it blows up pretty big.
Yeah, and I believe right next to it is, if you want to just use a URL, that's also there. That goes to the same link. And then one last question for Tricia. If I don't want to put my phone number, I can just put my email, correct? I don't have to have phone number and email. Those are optional.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
100%. Yep. You can adjust exactly what information that you guys want to appear on your pin or not appear.
Right. Thank you, Tricia. I noticed you went over that fairly fast. You go in there tomorrow and say, I can't remember what Tricia said. Contact the council office. Tricia is very knowledgeable on this. Jessica is kind of our guru now with the invitation and applications manager. And she will spend the time on the phone to walk you through this entire process. If you need assistance, just let us know what we can do to help you. Back to it. If your unit doesn't have a Facebook page, you can always set one up. There's a QR code here on how to set one up. So I was going to ask Tricia to talk about this a little bit, but Sherry, you're more than welcome if you feel you're ready to jump in.
Okay. Trisha, so you wanna share this one with me? Um, so one of the things that I really like to see for at the unit level is to have an active Facebook page and a meta page on Instagram as well. And what happens when you set that up is you're kind of reaching the millennial moms out there because they're on Meta. They're scrolling through Instagram, they're scrolling on Facebook. So when you set the page up, and we can actually tie it to Pacific Harbors Council and the district, right, Darren?
Tricia?
Yep, and we love it. We love seeing you guys too. So please do that.
Yeah. So if you guys share your pins and put that on Facebook and you start tagging the council and the district, then we can actually all work together as a group, a family, if you will, and get more traction on things. So if you guys get stuck on that, you can reach out to council, district, and me. I'm usually around. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Trish.
No, thank you for jumping in like that. I know I didn't prep you ahead of time, so great job.
It's okay. I'm actually pretty good at jumping on the fly. I just have to close the window because I got rain coming in.
And again, if you need help with this, contact the council office. If it's not somebody at the office, we'll get a hold of Sherry, but somebody will definitely help you. And just so you know, if you don't know what Meta is, that's the combination, as I understand it, of Facebook and Instagram now. They're both owned by Meta, and it's all called Meta now, and they all communicate with each other. That's the short description. Is that correct?
Yeah, and then you could like throw Threads and WhatsApp on there too. They have a lot.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Darren, there's also another thing that you can do with that where there's an app called Hootsuite, and it will tie in all of the Meta and TikTok and I believe YouTube as well.
Okay. If you can just put that in the chat if you have time. And again, if anybody has any questions, please contact the council office. We're here to help you. So I'm going to talk about some incentives that are going on during the fall recruitment frenzy. And one of them is being driven by the national office incentive. And what it is for any new Cub Scout that registers via the Be a Scout website, because they're really pushing the Be a Scout website from August 1st to October 31st, they will use the address that they put in there and they will mail that new Scout what you see here, the Mini Life or the Scout Life Mini Magazine, the Cub Scout sticker here, a recruitment card, and I believe this is also a sticker, the footprint over here, and with a welcome to Cub Scouts. And then say if you have a friend, recruiting a friend, if they can do that, they fill out this card, they take it either to our to the National Scout Shop there at the council office, or they can take it to the Camp Thunderbird store, and they can receive a free recruiter patch. So that's an option that's being handled by the national office incentive for new scouts that join online. It has to be online. It can't be a paper application. We also have some council incentives for new youth incentive for all units from August 1st to November 30th. For each new registered youth that the unit has that we can pull out of the system, the unit will be entered into a monthly drawing to receive a $50 gift card. So if you have 5 new kids this month, for the month of September, we're going to put 5 entries in for you. And then on these dates, we're going to make a drawing and give that, whoever wins that is going to get a $50 gift certificate. It's either going to be from the Scout store or it's going to be an Amazon gift card, depending what we can end up getting. But going to do that every month up through November. So please make sure that if you have new kids, you get those applications in or get them approved online. And Tricia talked about it briefly, but we have applications that sit in the application portal through your My.Scouting. You just got to make sure you get in there and approve those. Otherwise, they sit there. It has to have unit approval. We have some new youth incentives for packs And if you look at the recruitment plan and the fall recruitment frenzy plan that we sent out last week to the unit key threes, there's a list of where your unit was at on July 31st. And so the new incentive is from August 1st to November 30th. If PACs can, these are additional incentives. So PACs, if you can get a 10% increase between your July 1st number, July 31st number, sorry about that, or at least 2 youth, whichever is greater for the smaller PACs, over the number of registered scouts as of 31 July, we will give the PAC their first, second, and third place Pinewood Derby trophies that are issued by BSA Supply for overall winner for the overall winners for your PAC Pinewood Derby. That has about a $51 retail value. PACs that can reach 20%, sorry about that. PACs that can reach 20% increase over the July 31st number, or at least 3 youth, whichever is greater, they will earn Pinewood Derby cart kits up to the number of registered youth they have on 30 November. So if your PAC had 60 kids in on July 31st and you can recruit another 12 and get to a number of 72, you could end up possibly getting free, you will get free Pinewood Derby cards for every scout that's registered in your unit. So a great incentive. Each kit, I believe, is a $6.99 or $7 value. So a great way to get your Pinewood Derby card kits in time for Christmas. So we want to get all these incentives out by December 15th. The one thing we are reminding units is that when BSA went to individual registrations last August, and there's no prorating, kids that joined in August of last year expired on 31 July of this year. So you have to take that into mind, that any kid that registered between August and November 30th last year, if they do not renew, that's going to drop your number by that kid. So you have to be aware of that when you're looking at whether you're at 10% or 20%. And if you're not sure, we would be more than happy to tell you who those kids are. And I believe we've already been communicating to Key Threes, their lists well ahead of time, so they know who's expiring. Below is a picture of the Pinewood Derby cars and obviously the trophies, just so you can see what you would get. For the troops, crews, and ships, same dates and the same requirement, 10% or 20% increase. They will receive a for 10% increase, either a unit level first aid kit, troop, crew, whatever that may be, or a Dutch oven. They can pick which one they want. If they hit 20%, they can get one of each, or 2 first aid kits, or 2 Dutch ovens. They can mix and match what those incentives are. So great, some good incentives, or great incentives, I believe. That all you have to do is recruit, and you could end up with some of these incentives. The other thing the council is tracking is, and we're doing this mostly through the recruitment kits and what the districts are telling us and what units are telling us, but we're trying to track all the upcoming public facing events. And we have a upcoming events calendar that we maintain internally. And so we know what's going on there. It helps us share information with the board, and it also helps us share it with donors, showing that we are out in the public. Tricia is the maintainer of that now. But if you have an event where you haven't checked out the recruitment kit, still let us know, whether it's like a local farmer's market or something that your unit's attending. Tricia will still geofence that for you. And we will still put it on the list so we know it's out there. If one of us can stop by, we will, just to see how you're doing. But we would like to know when you're doing that. And then also, we would like pictures that you're there. And if you haven't been watching our Facebook page lately, I know Tricia has been doing a good job of posting unit level events that have been going on in recruitment events. So please let us know what you're doing. These are just an example of what we know is going on in September and October. I know in August we had several of these listed. I believe we have more. We just got to get the list caught up. And I know that's something Tricia's working on. But please let us know. There's Tricia's email up there. If you forget that, you can just remember PHC, Pacific Harbors Council at scouting.org. So that's it for the formal presentation. Tricia, I don't know if you've been monitoring chat to see if there's any questions, but if you have any questions, please chime in now, and we will try to answer them the best that we can.
Darren, I'll start to get the ball rolling, so to speak. It's not really a question, it's just a tip that we did. So we went on Amazon and we ordered some pens and pencils that had the trip and tack information on it. And so when we're out and somebody has a problem like with their pen, they need a pen or something, you just hand them a pen. You hand them a pencil. It's the same thing that we did when we did the Harbor Days. And I always carry cards for district and council with me, usually because I can hand them out. So you guys all get contact info. But the thing is, it's very easy to build a supplemental recruiting kit for your own unit. So like we have our own little Bluetooth projector. So we'll be able to show videos of the troop and council and district. But that's pretty much all I have. I just wanted to say, add to things and make it your own and make it a fun recruiting event, because otherwise it gets kind of tedious.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And the pencils and rulers that we have actually have the Be a Scout logo on them, so they can know where to go. And again, we provide that as part of the checkout kit, but you don't have to check out the whole kit. You come by and say, we just want pencils for our recruiting event, we'll make sure you get those, or rulers. And the cool thing about the rulers, they're the color changing one that if you hold it, it changes color. I just think those are cool.
They're so
Anybody
fun.
else have any questions or comments?
So Deanna posted in the chat if we're going to post this recorded webinar on Facebook. And yeah, we're going to have it on Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to push it out there, as well as make sure you guys get in your emails so you guys can share it with your units.
Thank you.
Actually,
Jamie, I see your video came up, so I assume you have a question.
yeah, I did have a question. Is there anything available on the council level to get the individual units and offices business cards or anything like that, or is that on our own?
So not down to the individual. Again, we can provide unit level flyers and cards and stuff like that, but we won't make business cards like for the Cubmaster or the committee chair.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Well, if there's no other questions, we'll stay on until everybody logs off. But if you have anything that you think of, please let us know. You can always contact us. I think Tricia put her email on there in the chat, and it's been on a couple of the slides. But thank you all for attending tonight. Hopefully you all are excited about recruiting. I know we are. And anything that you need from the council, please let us know. I do have one last thing to add, is that if you want to do a fair or an event where they want to charge you to have your booth there, please contact us and we can either help cover the cost or at least do a share, but we will help you with that cost if we can. The things we do look at though is this an event that's only going to have 100 people at versus an event that's going to have 2,000? And that's how we kind of determine whether it's going to be a share cost or if we're going to cover the whole cost. But if you're willing to man a booth at a public event like that, please let us know and we will support you and help with the cost. So thank you all again for attending. Have a great night. And hopefully we'll see you at some upcoming scouting events like Cubbery or the Fall Campery. Those are going to be exciting events. Thank you. Oh, Sherry, and raised your hand. Go ahead, Sherry.
No, I was just going to say, when it comes to the recruiting events themselves, I think it would be really helpful for those of us dealing with a lot of spinning plates to have people say, hey, this event is coming up, just to kind of share it on their Facebook page. So like in Shelton, we've got Oyster Fest coming up. So be like, we would say, hey, we've got Oyster Fest coming up, would district or council like to come swing by? Or, if there's an event out here in Eatonville or something, just to make sure that we're getting as much information coming in and we're kind of staying like the group, boots on the ground kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can make it out there, we definitely will. And as you just said, not only do we want to have it on the unit Facebook pages and the district and the council Facebook pages, but please feel free to share all of our stuff on your own social media pages too, because the more people who share, the more it gets distributed. I think as Sherry was saying earlier, but help us spread the word. All right, well, thank you. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording. If you can take care of that, Tricia, and I will stop the share, and then we'll stick around to see if there's any questions that people want to ask. But
Sounds
thank
good.
you all for attending. Have a good night.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.